I am so sorry.
Welcome to a world of thrills, a world of drama, of capes and tights, a world where death is a revolving door. Welcome to the Geek Matrix.
Hello, everybody. Wow, it feels like a minute since I've said that. Ever since we changed names, I changed my intro. This is,
Right?
God, that feels good. Hello, everybody, to the Geek Matrix DC Comics Review Show, week number 168.
168.
168.
168 weeks of people listening to me complain about shit that they love.
Oh, man.
Good times, good times.
That's right. I was going to just, I don't know, I didn't write it down this way. I just started to say DC Comics Review week number whatever, and I was thinking like the number of weeks that DC Comics has been publishing comics. I'm like, I'm not going to be able to make up a number. What the fuck am I doing? And then I remember, wait, we number the show. Just go with that.
Yep, that'll do the trick. That'll do.
10,023. I don't know. Right.
I can't even imagine.
Yeah, who knows? It's got to be up there. I mean, think it. 52 weeks in a year. They don't skip a week. They've been doing it since they were national publications when they started Superman #1, right?
Right.
Do we count that? Because it's still the same company.
Yes, let's just go with that as the starting point.
Okay, so that's
1936.
1936. I was going to say 1936. Maybe 1935, I think. Would have been their first series. So what was their very first series? Was that the one with Alan Scott? Or did they do something before that?
I'm not positive. But if we do that, they started in. Well, let's go 60. Let's go 65.
36, you mean?
Huh? 36. Yes. My bad. My bad.
Okay, so we'll run the math on this right now. Welcome to class, folks. So it's 13-year difference.
So
yeah, 13-year
87 years times 52 weeks a year is 4,524 weeks. That's a lot of weeks.
That is a lot of weeks. I was highballing 10,023 for sure. That is way up there, folks. But no, so this is DC Comics Review Show number 4,524. Thank you for tuning in. I'm just grabbing something real quick to break into our big news segment for the week. Bit of sad news happened a couple of days ago. If you hadn't heard, legendary creator and one of my all-time favorites, and the reason
a whole podcast time favorite.
Oh God, yeah. The reason I pulled over Jaime Reyes, Keith Giffen has passed away at the age of 70, very unfortunately. I took a look at his bibliography yesterday just to see how much of his work I owned, and my God, I had more than I realized.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people have more than they realize.
He did so much work. He's been going since 1976.
So much work.
Like he's been a constant in the comics industry for so many decades.
He's definitely going to be
yeah.
He's definitely going to be missed. That's for sure.
Yeah. I think he even had work published this year, if I'm not mistaken.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, like it's a dark day in not just DC Comics history, but in comics in general, that we lose Keith Giffen.
The man who gave us Justice League One Punch.
Yep, gave us Rocket Raccoon.
Yeah.
Lobo, Josh's favorite.
Yes,
Yeah.
my favorite.
As I pointed out,
So
Jaime
sad.
Reyes. Yeah.
Another one of my
the
favorites.
as Josh mentioned, the Justice League One Punch scene, which is to this day probably the most memorable Justice League moments in all of history.
To real comic book fans, yeah, absolutely.
And even some non-comic book fans seem to know that moment somehow, even though it's never made it in the mainstream. But it's just that talked
Memes.
about. It's gotta be, yeah, it gotta be.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's iconic. It's been done over so many times.
And then
and
here
it's
not
done by a
too long
legendary
ago,
guy.
they had Wildcat beat Batman. You remember that?
Yeah.
You remember? I remember.
Yeah, so it hurts. It really hurts that we lost Keith Giffen, but cheers to him. Raise a glass to a great
Thanks
guy.
for everything you did, man.
Yeah. Well, you will be missed, and goddamn, I wish there was more to come, but
Yeah.
at least we have so many stories to reread over and over again. And I know I'll be checking out Threshold again later this week.
Didn't you just read that?
I started to, and then because I had so many new graphic novels, I just got distracted by all the other ones I was reading.
Fair
I
enough.
I started I started reading Mark Waid's Brave and the Bold series with Hal and Barry.
Right on.
Yeah, because I'd never
Cool.
read that before, so I was excited for that.
Howdy, viewer. Say hello, like I just did. It goes like this. Hello.
Well, I assume you're talking to a user in chat.
Mm-hmm.
They can't type it out.
Well, yeah.
Well, you can do it, but we can't hear you. So.
Well, yeah. I mean, you know what? As long as it's in spirit, I think it's okay.
Yeah. That's fair. We can sense it. Just
Yes.
send a message to the ring. I'll get it.
Through our psychic high powers, we know
Yeah.
when everybody says hello.
Josh will get it on Kajida.
Shh, don't tell people.
Straight to his nervous system.
Yeah, that's what happened to me, man.
You
Beatles
got-
sucking my life force
Yeah.
out.
These
Oh,
fucking
boy.
Beatles. All right.
Fucking Beatles.
Fucking Beatles. Okay, so there is one more bit of news that Brandon popped across our desk earlier today. Speaking of Brandon, this lucky duck,
This lucky duck.
I think today, I'm pretty sure it's a 4-day event. Excuse me. So it starts today, if not
I think
tomorrow.
so.
Yeah. He is at New York Comic Con, possibly right now.
Because he is a butthead.
Yeah. And
I kid.
throughout the weekend, Brandon, we love you. Throughout the week, him and I had been talking about other creators have just been announced. What was the one he was telling me about? I think just yesterday. Pat Gleason is going to be there. He found that out yesterday.
Oh, wow.
One of
Right
my
on.
favorite artists. So I'm so happy about
Yeah.
that. Because he said he'd get that signature added to the Sinestro Court of War. Fucking hell.
That's
we're just
awesome.
talking about all sorts of stuff, and he found out that Jorge Jimenez and Jeff Johns are only charging $5 per signature, so he's bringing like a whole shit ton of books to get signed. He's like, "Oh, that's super cheap." Okay, I think you're muted, man. I don't know how that happened.
Oh, I am muted. Look at that. Yeah, I was like, yeah, it's all you can eat autographs, right?
Exactly, yeah. So he's just dealing them like cards to these creators, and I don't blame him.
I don't either. Just gonna be honest with you.
Yeah. So, Brennan, if you're listening, hope you are having fun, and we look forward to hearing about it next week when you are back with us. Where I started with this, my segue, Brandon put across the desk earlier today. It was Jason Fabok announced another book that he's doing with Jeff Johns and Brad Anderson. That's coming out from
What?
Image called Rook Exodus, and it looks pretty friggin' cool, at least from the artwork. I haven't had a chance to read the article.
When does that come out?
I don't know, Josh. When does that come out? Did you read the article?
No.
Okay, because I haven't had a chance to read it yet. Let me skim through it real quick. But it was announced. It seems like today, because said it was announced at New York Comic Con. It was a new Image Comics imprint for Interconnected Universes. Now that I'm reading it, the Ghost Machine.
April
Universe?
2024.
Yeah. Brian Hitch, Jason Fabok, Peter J. Tomasi, Francis Manipul, Gary Frank, Maytal Jut, Lamont McGee, Brad Meltzer, and Jeff Johns are all on the team. The Ghost Machine team. That's a hell of a creative team.
Yeah, you could say that again.
Yeah.
What the hell are they doing?
Comics.
No, that's not comics. That's something other than comics.
Changing the world?
I mean, perhaps.
Yeah, so it looks good. If you want to know more, because we're so like organized. We have all the
very
info for
organized.
Google Ghost Machine, New York Comic Con, or Jeff Johns, or Jason Fabok, or Brad Anderson. You'll get all sorts of info about Ghost Machine from Image Comics, and it looks to be very good from a whole slew of awesome creators. So that's something to look forward to.
Well, just hearing that the Three Jokers team got back together, I mean, what they produced was great. It was just the story took a terrible,
it fell
but
apart. That's not the only
and-
book they've
and-
done
and
together.
Anderson is, oh man, they're so beautiful together. And
Yeah.
you know, I mean, Jeff Johns, he can tell a hell of a story. He just swung and a miss with that one, but
Yeah.
I'm excited just to see that, and then the rest of them that you threw in there. I mean, that's not no just little extra people thrown into the book. These are all heavy hitters.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see what comes out of this.
I'm gonna even say, like, for Three Jokers, not even a swing and a miss. I'm gonna say that was a hit and a catch in outfield, because it started out great, and then it just fell apart rather quickly near the end.
Right, like the world's greatest home run ever hit, and then it's marred by the fact that it took out an airplane.
That's a hell of a way. I was gonna say the guy in center field just climbed the wall and caught it, but that works too. Caused a citywide destruction.
Absolutely, wouldn't be the first time.
Blew up an airplane with a home run baseball.
Ding ding.
Wouldn't be the first time. What? What baseball games have you been watching? Oh, that's right, none.
None. I watch some baseball
watch
games
hockey?
occasionally with Omega Bandman.
Oh yeah. We discovered somewhat recently that despite the fact that I'm Canadian, Josh is American, born and bred each, I am more into baseball, America's favorite pastime, and Josh is more into hockey, Canada's national country sport.
It is really weird.
Yeah,
It's very odd. Hold on one second.
it is really weird. Despite I say hockey is Canada's national sport, despite the fact that there's going to be some Canadians out there that are be screaming at their screens saying, "It's lacrosse, it's curling." I'm just going to say it's all three.
Yeah. Curling. I don't even want to say curling is a sport. It's a thing unto itself. Not only do you have to be, skilled specifically in curling to be able to pull that off, but I feel like you've got to be a certain kind of person too. Like, not everybody can do curling. I
Yeah.
can't. I can't,
It's
and I have tried.
it's not the most athletic sport. It's a weird cross between um playing lawn bowling and being athletic. Because you have to be at least strong enough to know how to work the rock properly. Not alone,
Well,
not even
right,
just
but I
lift
mean,
it
with
because it's a heavy stone, but also be able to slide it the right way, have proper control, and you have to have good body function, good muscular control in order to make that work. And the
and I
sweeping
mean,
alone
amazing
is
depth perception
is
because you've
oh
got to
god,
be
yeah.
able to stop it within that.
Yeah, and you have to rely on the sweepers who also need to have not only good endurance but good strength as well to be able to sweep as hard as they need to or as little as they need to, again with proper control the whole way down the ice.
Mm-hmm.
So there is a level of athleticism involved in strength training, but not as much as say any other sport.
Right. I'm just telling you that, like, somebody like me, I feel like I could, no matter how much I trained, I'd never be able to get that down. I feel like you got to be just the right kind of fucking person. You can train
Yeah.
anybody to do a sport. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They'll at least be decent at it.
Yeah.
You can't make it that you can't do that with curling. And I dare say the same thing with shuffleboard. You either got it
I
or
can
you
see
don't.
that. I mean, it's the same idea. Shuffleboard and curling, same idea. Just shuffleboard a lot less,
Well,
I
yeah,
would
like
say.
completely take the athleticism out.
Yeah.
Add
I've
a whole
seen
lot of
people.
alcohol.
I've seen people play shuffleboard with a whiskey in their hand and sitting in a chair,
Hmm.
and get a bullseye,
Yep.
or whatever you call it. I don't know if they
Yeah,
call
it's
it a
like I don't
bullfighter.
know. All I know is that I got it with one eye closed.
Yeah. Not even looking. Uh.
No,
Yeah.
he had to close one eye so he could see straight. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what happens.
Yeah. All right. So that's about all the news I have. Unless, Josh, you want to bring up your scientific discovery?
Oh no, what was it?
Oh, okay. So
Oh,
I'll bring up your.
oh,
Okay.
oh,
Oh, you remember the metal?
yeah, the
Yeah.
scientists had found out that there are metals out there that have self-healing properties. Like if left alone, they will heal themselves. They were able to tell this because they use time-lapse photography to record it. The cracks in steel actually becoming smaller, which I think is wildly insane. Because just it was last week, was it?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, just last week we did that we
Oh, the
covered that
poison ivy.
poison
Yeah,
ivy
yeah.
with
Last
the
week.
green
Yeah.
steel for for steel that would heal itself. We keep an eye out for people with flower faces.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now, I was reading that article you sent, and my mind was like going with the possibilities. Like, I don't know where something like that could be applied in other fields, but the first thing on my mind was ferrofluids.
Oh boy.
If that would even have any shared properties, but I don't know enough about scientific states of matter or of metal rather, to really justify knowing that just yet. So I'm not gonna jump into the whole theory game.
I don't know enough about metallurgy to know whether or not that is possible, but that would be neat.
Yeah, that could be send away to
Could you imagine
nanotechnology.
they
That's
find
the first step to nano Iron Man suit.
they find out what it is, right? They find out what it is that allows the steel to heal itself, and then they just find a way to accelerate it, and we have legitimately self
Self,
healing steel.
yeah.
I'm having a good speech day today. How about you?
Oh yeah.
Righteous.
Uh,
No, I forgot all about that until you. Sweet.
Well, I'm happy to remind you.
Yes, it was very cool.
All right, so I think. Do you have anything else?
Nope.
Any other news? So
Nope.
I think that's
Nope.
about
That
it.
scientific discovery was pretty cool to
Yeah.
talk about in episode 4524.
That's it. Tune in next week for episode 4525.
Yeah. This is a legacy numbering, of course.
Legacy numbering, yeah. All right. So, guess you want to jump into our honorable mention list?
I suppose I could do that. This week we got Superman Lost number 7, Batman City of Madness number 1, and Danger Street number 10. Superboy, The Man of Tomorrow number 6. If you got digital.
Yeah, well, no, physical this week. Digital
Or
before.
physical. Excuse me.
Physical this week. So now everybody has had a chance to read it. Unfortunately, except Brandon, because he said his shop did not get it in for some reason.
Oh no.
Yeah, because I've been itching to ask him that question. At least I'm assuming it came out in stores because I don't have a store to go check.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah. It was on the list on League of Comic Geeks, so that's why you can assume it was physical this week. So hopefully, yeah. I need to ask Brandon that question about. Oh my god, what the hell was the question?
I don't remember.
I read it like
But
a
it's
month
only
ago.
because you didn't tell me.
Yeah. The tactile telekinesis.
Oh, right. That's
Yeah.
right. You had
Yeah.
that concern.
Mm-hmm.
Well, needless to
Not even
say,
so much concerned, more just like curious if if that part of it had ever been a thing. But for story purposes, I guess they could add it in because again, it was heavily Dragon Ball inspired to a T.
Twitty.
To a very much. They ended it with okay. I'm not even gonna say it, but there's a moment. Spoilers if y'all know what the hell goes on with Dragon Ball. It's basically Gallic Gun versus Kamehameha at a certain point. It looks just like that. Yeah. Yeah.
Anybody doing any screaming?
Yeah, actually.
Oh boy.
I think there was. Yeah, this a book I'm definitely getting when it comes out on trade. It was a hell of a story.
Well, I didn't get a chance to read this one yet.
Oh no?
No.
Oh, I thought you read it when it came out digital.
Oh shit. Yeah, because I got it last week, didn't I?
Oh, it came. It
Or
was
was
like
it the 2
three,
weeks?
three,
Three?
4 weeks ago.
Yeah, it's been a while. That's why I
Yeah.
forget.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised. Okay.
Yeah.
But anyway, if I've already got it, then I probably liked it. Because I don't remember one that I didn't like.
Sure.
I wish that Brandon was here so I could hear more about it. But anyway, those are the honorable mentions, and that's all there is.
Yeah, we'll get a bit more in depth in our bonus subscriber show, which we will record later today. So be sure to subscribe if you want to hear more about it.
You
We
should
will do
anyway.
not a full spoiler review, but a bit more spoilerish than I already did.
There you go.
Because I can't help myself sometimes. All right,
Can't do
we are. Do you want to do a quick commercial break, or should we jump right into the books?
Let's go ahead and do a commercial break.
All right, we will be back. Stay tuned.
And now back to our regular scheduled program.
Woo! Welcome back. That was a very quick commercial break for those of you sitting streaming, watching us on stream. Yeah, it was very short.
That's okay.
That's for podcast purposes, but we are here and we are live still. All right, so we are jumping into our books for the week, of which we have 2 for this show because it's a pretty small week.
Yep, they went
starting
light on
us
us.
Oh God, yeah. And,
But it's only as a way to say I'm sorry ahead of time.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not even going to say that. They really should have balanced this a lot more because this week and last week, very light weeks. The next 2 weeks, super heavy. And I
Yep.
ain't talking about Batman by Scott Snyder, Volume 8 or 9.
Watch your tongue, kind sir.
All right, so we are
I
starting
love me some
off.
snide, man.
Yeah. Green Lantern number 4. We are here. We're going to get some answers. Let's find out.
Let's find out.
Let's find out. This is written by Jeremy Adams with art from Zermanico, both inside and on the cover. Colors from Romulo Fajardo
Beautiful.
Jr. Oh, God, yeah.
Hey, did you
Uh,
not notice that there's a whole lot of inside and out art that was this week? Like most of the art teams that we cover did the art inside and on the cover.
I mean, I didn't notice that was specifically that, but like I know most of the time it's like that, unless there's like a
No,
special
it's
cover. I don't know.
most of, yeah, no.
Uh,
Anyway,
ooh, sorry, indigestion. Oh God. Oh, excuse me. Oh God, that was bad. Sorry. Okay, I'm good. Drink some water. Ugh.
you gonna be all right, man?
Yeah, that's what happens when you fall asleep because you can go into work. Like, and you wake
Heck,
up
oh,
15 minutes before showtime. Yeah. So I'm hanging in there.
hang.
Excuse me. Okay, so
Oh,
this is uh colors from Romulo Fajardo Jr., letters from Dave Sharp, Fast Friends, and if that title and the cover is any indication, this is a hell of a brave and a bold issue, if I do say so myself. So we pick up where we left off in issue 3. Sinestro has come up to Hal at what I thought was a bar, but now looks to be a diner. So it's a little different than what I thought, but still, nonetheless, they're there. Seems to be empty apart from these two, which is just fine for them because they're about ready to throw down. At least not yet until some information is acquired between the two. Hal pulls together a construct of a rapier and points it directly to Sinestro's stomach. Has Sinestro's going on as you can put that away. I just want to get off this planet, and if you do not help me, um, your city will be in grave danger. I planted, excuse me, I've planted bombs throughout the city, sonic bombs, and not even you and your ring will be fast enough to stop them. All I want is your ring so I can fly back home. I don't even want to be on this backwater planet. Um, and Hal regretfully complies, hands over his ring, and as Sinestro tries to use it, Hal warns him, "You're not going to be able to because this ring is new and something that can only be used by me." So which Sinestro then, excuse me, um,
no.
decides to just play his hand and be like, all right, fuck it, and sets off the sonic bombs across the city with a loud ass boom. Uh,
Kaboom.
and then he leaves as Hal suits up into the costume and calls on Barry to help him save Coast City. Forms up a construct of a I don't even know what you'd call it, a sonar radar, which is basically just what a radar is, but maybe it's just a radar. A method they used to one time track down Sonar, an old villain, if you remember old Green Lantern villains, not from outer space. So Barry grabs the construct, and Hal is doing his
Few and far
damnedest
between.
with his willpower to keep it in construct form, basically. Um, at super speed. This is very difficult with Barry's speed, but he's holding on. Barry finds all the bombs and throws them up into the sky for Hal to destroy with other constructs. And with Coast City saved, they have a handshake and a very brave and the bold moment. So cool to see, and honestly, I very much appreciate it because I said I was reading Mark Waid's Brave and the Bold with Hal and Barry, which is perfect timing for me because I'm reading all about this right now.
Perfect timing.
Very much. So they race off together to Ferris Air as Hal asks Barry for his help one more time, but not as the Flash, but instead as a forensic investigator. Oh my god.
Oh
What's up with my
my
throat today?
god.
Excuse me, folks. So he asked Barry to investigate the planes that Sinestro was hovering around. I guess that's a pun. I don't know. And he does notice a few odd things on one of the drones that looks like he must have placed something on it. But before he can get too deep into it, Carol shows up, and there's awkward moments because Carol's engaged and Barry's engaged, and they both look at Hal.
Like,
Yeah. So moving on. Carol's the one to change the subject back to the drones and ask what Sinestro did to them. And Barry is not entirely sure, but he thinks that something was left on the planes, but he isn't entirely sure what it is yet. And then Hal reveals that he did see Sinestro and that he was looking for a way off the planet, so thinking maybe he could use the drones to get back to Korugar. And then the trio start to disband. Carol heads off to go take care of some business stuff, as she is the head of the company. And then Barry gets an alert from Los Angeles. There's someone attacking, and it is almost extraterrestrial. So the pair suit up and head out and find a tornado and asteroids coming down, and they realize that it's probably not extraterrestrial. It's major disaster. So Barry takes care of the tornado, just like child's play for him at this point, and Hal takes care of the meteors, using it as a pool cue with a pool cue and ball, and just destroys them in one hit. Pretty awesome. They find major disaster, and as Hal distracts him with a bright flash from an old camera, a construct version, Barry punches him at super speed, and he
a
just
flash
falls
from
apart.
The flash from a construct camera.
Yeah.
So light that came from light.
Yeah. I mean,
Cool.
basically, he just made the light brighter, realistically.
Right?
But
That's
he
hilarious.
had fun
man.
with it, yeah. All right, then after taking down major disaster in quite a simple way, honestly, they leave him at the police department, and on top of the building across the streets, sitting on the rooftop, they just have a little chat about just life. How Wally and Linda had just had their third kid, and the Titans have taken over for the league, and Roy has his daughter again, and we're just here. But at least Barry has proposed to Iris. What the hell is Hal doing? And they talk about Carol and how he does love her, and he's been trying because he loves her, and that's basically, to him, that's his end game. But he understands Carol's choices to be with somebody else. I don't remember the guy's name, but I'm just going to call him Paul. for those of you that get that reference. And oh my god,
Drink some water, son. Is that water?
this is water, a whole bunch of it, but it doesn't seem to be working. Yeah, so they talk about Carol and how that's endgame for Hal, and he wants to get somewhere where she gets back with him, but doesn't quite know how to do it. She's very happy and committed, and Barry's just pull back a little bit on the throttle on trying to chase her and just try to be the friend she fell in love with. Maybe that'll work, because let's face it, Hal has been going just super hard right now to a just not okay degree.
Yeah, it's a bit uncomfortable, man. I mean, if we're being honest, it's a bit much.
Yeah, but it's a fine line for like 99% of the time. Yeah, it's a bit much, and even for Hal, yeah, it's a bit much. But it's also typical Hal. It's just nowadays it's not okay. It was never okay, but for the time that Hal came out of, you'd expect it.
Right.
But it's still not okay. It's almost in character for Hal. It's just the fact that she's engaged with somebody else and she's not reciprocating in the slightest means he needs to back off.
Yeah. Is it coming with unlimited will also comes with never giving up,
Yeah.
and I could see how that could be a problem for him to process, but he seems to be wanting to do the right thing. Flash was trying to talk him into not doing the right thing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, at the same time, yeah, like don't necessarily give up on Carol, just don't go full throttle like you are. Like pull back just a little bit cuz clearly it's not working.
Right.
Right?
One or two things is going to happen. You're going to chase her away forever, or you're going to
Yeah.
get sexual harassment charges. One of the two is going to happen.
Or both. Why not
Or
both?
or both. Or both. Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
if the second one happened, first one would too, huh?
Exactly. Honestly, I don't see Carol going that far,
No.
being
No.
that they're such old friends, but it really depends on how far Hal would go, I guess. Anyway,
Yeah.
because if she hasn't done anything like that yet, she probably wouldn't. Let's face it. All right, so basically that's what it is. Carol is endgame for Hal. He loves her and he understands her choices because who knows when he's going to go off into space next. He was away for this long, and that's why he lost her. So why would he then like get back with her and then have to one day for some reason end up back in space or on some other crisis and just not come back? So he thinks it's not fair to her, but he still loves her and he doesn't really know what to do next. But he got that sage advice from Barry, a man who seems to have his shit together to a certain degree. And let's face it, compared to the two, he always did. So
Well, I suppose.
yeah. All right, and then we finish off with a look at the drones, and Sinestro's hand has been played. The device that he seems to have placed on the drones almost looks like a control device, and the remote. He remotely activates takeoff, and the drones, 3 drones, fly off into the sky. Unsure where they're going, but something's going to happen. Next issue, Worldwide Fear. Whatever that may be about. And we do have a little backup, very quick, written by Peter J. Tomasi with art from David LaFuente, colors from Tom Bonvillain, and letters from Rob Lee. This is Wayward Son. And if you're reading the solicits, you know that this was called Rise of Sin Son, Part 1. Yeah. So we open up in Sector 2541, deep within the bowels of planet Zella.
What a good word for it.
Bowels, yeah. A young boy with purple skin, basically living in what we said the bowels, but it's basically the sewers, working on some kind of yellow device that seems to be electrical in nature. Pretty much, when it's said and done, it's electric knuckles, which is
it's yellow lantern brass knuckles.
Pretty much, yeah. He's found by the guy that runs this crew of children, Nagaf, and he is a guy that leaves a place for all these children to sleep, as he teaches them to go out and steal stuff and bring it back for him so they can all live peacefully. But this kid does not care about any of that stuff.
He don't give a shit.
He does not. And he finishes the device, goes out, despite the fact that he was told to go to bed. Right, this kid's name is Korg. I knew it was there somewhere.
Yes, Korg.
Korg.
Yes.
But he goes out to a secret casino where there is tons of creds, and with a black marker, he puts 2 bits of mustache above his upper lip. Very reminiscent of a certain character.
Right.
Right, and if you haven't pieced it together, very Sinestro-like. So he puts on the now finished electric knuckles and heads down to the casino, breaks in with a heavy foot, realistically, just drops on a guy's head, and then starts to beat the shit out of some people as he gets shot at. But then his knuckles run out of juice and he gets beat up. But then grabs a bag or container, I guess, of creds, smacks the guy in the face with it, and runs away. But the container gets zapped. And then when he gets back to base, he gives it to Nagaf, and the creds are worthless because they were blasted. Um,
Dadgummit.
yeah. So he gets pissed off and then tries to punch Nagaf with the electric knuckles, but they're still not working, and he gets stopped. His fist is caught by Nagaf. Nagaf just wipes the mustache off his face and says, "Why? This isn't the time to be someone and something you're so obviously not." And then Korg just finishes off with, "I know exactly who I am. I'll show you all. Once I get his blood, the whole universe will know that I am the son of Thal Sinestro." And that's where it's to be continued.
Surprise, surprise.
Yeah, that's a very interesting twist. We will see if he's actually the son of Thal Sinestro,
Right.
or like it doesn't look that way. Like he needs to get Sinestro's blood, so he's probably gonna infuse it with his own. I don't know how this works yet, but he looks very much Corrigarian.
That he does.
So we'll see. We'll see what's happening there. It's Peter A. Tomasi, so could honestly be a Super Sons follow-up. Who knows? He did have that story with the evil kids. So, yeah. So as for the issue, reading it twice now, not bad. My only problem with it, the art, fantastic. I'll start with the good stuff. Art's fantastic. I'm still digging the story. I love seeing Barry and Hal together, just being Brave and the Bold duo. It's always nice, and this issue captures it effortlessly. Jeremy Adams seems to have a really good hold on their relationship, and you love to see it. My problem, though, is this:
here it comes.
the story is really slow. Like, it's issue 4, and I get it's issue 4. You don't expect many answers until at least issue 6 or 7, or at least 5 or 6. But I'm hoping by this point we'd have some answers, but we really don't have any. We just keep getting more questions. And we have technically two time periods that we're dealing with here. Even though we didn't deal with 6 months prior in this issue, we still have 2 time periods worth of questions that we're asking and absolutely no answers as far as I can tell. So I'm hoping that we get some soon, because what seems to be happening is Hal ends up on these mini adventures, villains he has to take down, but it takes 3 pages to take them down. It's not a big story. It's just a little pause in the story we're getting while he fights this villain, like this part with Major Disaster. We didn't get overall plot because Hal and Barry decided to go and take care of Major Disaster really quick, which I get, world building is a thing that's going to happen, but it prevented us from getting any answers, which I wasn't happy about. It took up page count to give us the plot, and the plot, I think, is what everyone is craving right now. As much as these cool, fun moments are great to see, I want more plot to be done right now. Save an issue later down the road for Major Disaster. Like, have a whole issue. I'm down for that. But this is, it just feels distracting, and I'm just hoping to get more answers soon, because I want to know what the hell's going on. They didn't even tease much of what happened on Korugar, because I don't know if there's anything else to tease without giving shit away. So we'll see. Hopefully issue 5 gives us some answers. The cover certainly seems to allude to that. But for now, 8.5 out of 10. Still a very fun issue. Art is fantastic. I'm just hoping for more soon. You're muted, Josh.
I'm muted, Josh. I think it was really cool. It's a grounded story with Hal Jordan, something I didn't think I'd see. The idea almost sounds silly to somebody who's not intricately familiar with the character, but it's so good. Hal being grounded gets to keep the story character centric and like focused on the plot more than working in a whole cosmos worth of a story, which tends to happen with Hell. The art looks great, and obviously I think that the story does a great job of keeping me interested. I'm having a super good time, and less so with the Hell and Carol stuff, like Move On, but the rest of it is fantastic. I gave it a 7.75 out of 10. And as far as the backup goes, I mean, so we've got Yellow Lantern Jr. Are they going to be a rival for Kelly? I mean, what?
Maybe.
I guess we'll see where this goes.
Seeing
that would
Team Sinestro.
Could be good. We'll see.
Yeah. I mean that honestly, I can't even think about that with Kelly Cantella. If Tomasi is trying to reinvigorate the Super Sons somehow, like we saw with
reproduce them,
reproduce somehow, like Jeremy Adams had them in The Flash for a story, which means like there's definitely some adventures with them time traveling. So it's not out of the woods that the pair as children can't come back for Tomasi to tell more stories,
right? Or just trying to recreate kind of the same kind of feel with Kelly and Korg, the adventures of Kelly and Korg.
Well, Korg so far really doesn't seem like a good person. So
not yet.
No,
not yet. But in the beginning, neither did Crush.
No, but they could be trying to hint towards like a junior Justice League in a way. You have Superboy, you have Robin, and in their late child years, very very early teens.
Fair enough.
And then Teen Lantern is close to the same age. I don't know that there's any other heroes around that age that fit the bill, but that kind of fits. Like you call it a Junior Justice League, or you could call it Young Justice, whatever. But if you have that, like that'd be interesting.
It would be interesting, and it's very possible that they could do that.
Yeah.
Very possible.
It's Tomasi. I would not be upset if he brought Super Sons into Green Lantern lore, because that's two of my favorite works from Tomasi.
You get the best of both
Super
worlds
Sons
that way.
Green Lantern Corps, yeah. So I'm all for it. But we'll see. I'm as I've said before, cautiously optimistic about this story. We'll see where it goes. I really have no idea where it's going right now. I'm just going to enjoy the ride until we figure out what the hell's happening, because it could be very good.
It certainly could.
Yeah. All right, so that was Green Lantern number 4. Now we're going to get into Batman and Robin number 2. Josh is going to fill us in on that.
Yeah, it was written by Joshua Williamson, art and colors inside and out by Simone DeMeo, and lettering came from Steve Wands. So, open up the book, there's a little flashback to when Talia had Damien as a kid, and she killed a bat to teach him not to have feelings. And that's right before we flip to Damien and Bruce, somewhat sailing through the air, fighting off the bats that are attacking Batman. DC UGG with the names. Shush, a female Hush, the one behind the bat attack, says it's to get her life back. They're overtaken as Shush makes her escape. Batman goes on to use a bright light, but Damien stops him, saying it could hurt the bat. So Batman breaks out a smoke bomb consisting of eucalyptus, cinnamon, rosemary, and thyme. Apparently something his mom used to keep bats away from the mansion, I guess. So anyway, they're now again in pursuit of the now animal-headed terrible trio, Croc and Orca, who should be good guys, and Man-Bat that should be dead. As far as the attack goes, and I proved it in Discord. Just it's not just me. As far as the attack goes, though, Rob was right. It was pheromones, but not bat pheromones, though. No. It was a chemical that altered Bruce's pheromones to imitate those of a bat. Fun stuff right there.
Yeah, it would have been better if it was just this is
Yeah.
an odor that's coming off of
Okay.
it.
It's good writing, I'm telling you. Oh boy. So, after doing some investigating, stitching his dad up, it's time for Damien to go to school, public school. But and as I guess you would expect, he doesn't make it past first period and goes out after info from the White Rabbit at like 8:30 in the morning, dressed as Robin. And so does Batman, dressed as Batman. They go to get her out of jail, but they're too late. Shush and Co. are there with a gun to White Rabbit's head. It's followed with the schlocky 60s Batman stuff with captions that read, "Oh no, are the dynamic duo late to save the White Rabbit? Will they learn Shush's identity? Turn in next month to bang!" And then the issue ends. I
Yeah.
mean,
The new millennium has no time for your stupid voiceover bullshit.
yeah, nope.
No
I am
criminal's
a-
going to stand around waiting while you're like, okay, come on.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to do that.
No, and it's just unnecessary. The
Yeah.
the story could probably be good if it was from a different writer. The relationship between Bruce and Damien, the way they talk, bringing in characters and changing them to see how to how you see fit, or bringing them back to life. I get it came from a flashback at the beginning of a book, but it was solely written in there to include a homeopathic bat repellent and I guess some kind of way to show Damien is more emotional than he was before. But write him correctly and you won't have to do stupid shit like that. This seems like a waste of resources to have a wit in this way. DeMeo is a rock star. He makes it look fantastic, amazing line work. The colors, shadows, lights, even the refraction of light make every page drop dead gorgeous. It's a real pleasure to look at, but the rest of it just isn't there. Art cannot carry a whole book, and there's a lot going on in this one that I just can't forgive, especially when I had to say all of that summary just to basically say that absolutely nothing happened in this issue. But the art from DeMeo,
absolutely nothing.
well, I mean,
I'll get into that.
the art does bump it up a wee bit, but just a wee bit. It gets a 6 out of 10.
Yeah. So stuff definitely happened. It's just not great. not great stuff.
Not
Like, okay. So I'll start with the stuff I like.
Yeah, go ahead and do that.
I like seeing Bruce and Damien paired together as Batman and Robin and working together. I like that. And I like the idea of Bruce pushing Damien to go to high school, as trivial as it is at this point. I totally get, like, Bruce did that with all his other kids. So
Not to go to public school. They all went to private school.
he can't afford private school now.
Whatever. The other day, you guys defended him having a bat cave and all of this new shit.
Because he bought it when he was a billionaire. He didn't buy it now.
But he didn't have it when it first started out. And then your guys' defense was that he's a millionaire.
No,
he's just not a multi.
Josh. That was proven. He had it when he bought it years ago. It was in his name when he moved out of the mansion.
Boo.
That was part of the story.
Boo.
That's how it was proven. He didn't buy it now. It was already there. It was one of his safe houses. But
Boo.
now it's just, we all know the economy skyrocketed. Even if you're just a millionaire, you're not going to be able to afford to send your son to a private school. So I get that. Public school, fair enough. And he was already going to public school with John back in Super Sons. So still fits in my books. I'm okay with public school. But end of the day, I like that it's pushing Damien to go back to school and start high school, and push his education, despite the fact that, sure, Damien already knows this stuff, but still, he did it with Dick, he did it with Tim, so why not do it with your own son too, with your own flesh and blood? So I like that, and that is about it. Story wise, like the art, I agree, Simone DeMeo, fantastic. I didn't have the same problem with this issue as I did with the first one, where everything felt like it was zoomed in and a fisheye lens. I didn't have that problem this time. So the art throughout was just fan-fucking-tastic.
It really was.
The problems you brought up about Man Bats, yeah, like you proved it. I thought he was still alive based on the end of World War Z, but no, Task Force Z, sorry. But no, he should still be dead. So I don't know what the hell's going on there. I
Whatever
was I'm thinking
Williamson
it
wants.
could have been Francine, but they said Man Bat specifically, so I don't know.
Yep.
Croc and Orca, I ain't gonna put weight on because they could just go back and forth. Croc, was it this or was it Joker? Croc was like, yeah, fuck it, I'm out. Like,
Yeah, we've seen him for quite a long time now. A couple of years
Yeah.
just not want to do the villain shit.
yeah.
So
But it was either in this or it was a Joker. I don't remember which. Oh, Joker had Clayface, so it must have been in this where he's like, "Look, I got stuff I got to do," and then I said, "If you want to see where he went, check out Poison Ivy for his adventures in Slaughter Swamp."
yeah,
So at least like there's that, and they took him out because he's busy elsewhere doing not necessarily bad things.
no, I'll give him credit for that.
Yeah.
I will, because that scores big points for me.
But yeah, I'm not. The thing that stuck out for me is the voices for Bruce and Damien. They're very unlike
Bruce and Damien.
well, even for Joshua Williamson and any other time he's written Batman or Robin, they've not sounded like this. Like this is very different from any other story he's specifically written with these two characters. It feels like anyway. So I don't know what the hell is going on. And it's not the first writer to do this either. I've never liked it when you get the two of them together and writers think they're going to be almost cold-hearted to each other. They're going to be very, very emotionless while also in a loving way, and I don't like that. I get their Bruce. I miss my dead parents when I was 8 years old, and I'm forever emotionally scarred from it. Wayne and Damien, I was grown in a vat of liquid, and my father is a psychopath. Wayne,
Right.
I get their
Hey, monologue for just a
Untitled
minute, and I'll be
both of
right
them.
back.
No problem.
All
I get they're emotionally stunted characters to begin with, but it just feels so awkward when they talk like that. I've never really enjoyed that. Shush. When I heard the name, I figured I'm not gonna love this, but I'll give Shush the benefit of the doubt for now. We'll see where that goes. We don't really know much yet. The name's just kind of silly. I don't know what's going on. Batman and Robin, though, number two, I'm not gonna say I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the art, but it was definitely an awkward read. Great to look at, not easy to digest. I'm also going to give it a
Agreed.
6 out of 10. This might be. It's a rare occasion. I 100% agree with you, Josh. Well, 95%. There's a couple of things I was like, oh, hang on, let's give a benefit of the doubt for this little bit. But like,
I will. You got me to give him credit for
Croc, right?
for Croc, yes.
Yeah.
But still, like, only half a point because Croc
Yeah.
wouldn't be doing that shit right now. He just wants to fucking chill out in his fucking swamp and be left alone. That's all he's been saying for 2 years is leave me the fuck alone. I want to go chill out.
As far as I remember about Croc, at least throughout my life reading and watching Croc, he's always been like that.
Pretty much.
But he always
It's
gets
just-
pulled back in somehow.
Yep.
So I'm not even gonna stunt Williamson for any involvement of Croc because that's always gonna
It's
fucking
just-
happen to Waylon Jones.
The last couple of years, it's really been turned up.
Oh, it's definitely been
You know
pushed
what I
hard,
mean?
But,
It's
but he's
like
always gonna get pulled back in eventually.
he found a fucking dispensary that'll sell to giant crocodile men, and
Yeah.
now he's now he just wants to sit back and watch cartoons.
It's not like he's ever gonna get a 9 to 5. You know,
right.
nobody's gonna hire a crocodile monster.
Nope. It's just
Which is
not
a
going to
shame.
happen.
No. You know what he should?
Not in
he should,
this economy.
he should get a job. Are they even still around? Haley Circus.
No. No.
They're not.
here.
Oh, okay.
No.
Well, we had that backup story in Nightwing with John.
Yeah, but that was a while ago.
That wasn't Haley's. That was like
No.
that was this year, wasn't it? Or
Oh, was it this year?
Yeah. It was fairly recent.
Within the last year, yeah.
Yeah, it was a 3-part, but I don't remember if that was Haley's circus they were at.
I don't think so.
Either way, a circus would be ideal for Waylon. I don't know if he wants to be a sideshow, but
Right.
it's a place.
He wants
make
to be
money.
alone. He don't want to spend 14 hours a day having people poke and look at him and shit.
Yeah. All right. Well.
I could see that not working out very well.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. Actually no. Fuck. Who was it? Was it Tynion that did Robin and Batman?
Oh, you know what? I think so.
And I think that actually was a story element because Croc was involved in that. I think he was in Haley's Circus specifically because he knew Dick, and as you pointed out, didn't work out very well. So that's
Yeah,
that.
but he was. Oh, yeah, Robin and Batman. It was Jeff Lemire.
Jeff Lemire.
Yeah, but that was definitely a whole different kind of story for Croc. That's for damn sure.
Yeah. That was a very different one.
It was good. It was good, but not one I would have expected.
No. All right. Well, that is our books for the week.
That is it, man.
That's so quick. Top 3.
Well, I mean, I don't really have a top 3, but I'm going to tell you that I will definitely rate Green Lantern number 4 over Batman and Robin number 2. And my favorite moment is going to be when Hal just drops the fucking ring into Sinestro's hand, like, here, go for it.
Yeah,
and
give
then
it a
he's
shot,
like,
bitch.
what is this? This isn't a ring. And it was, yeah, it's a special kind of ring. He takes it right back, pops it onto his finger, shows off a little bit. I thought that was great. That was classic Hal, and I loved every second of it. So
Just very reminiscent of 2 kids just play fighting.
right.
Like,
I'm the only one that knows
you
how to
can
turn
try
it
it,
on.
but I'm the only one that can use it. See,
Yeah, neener,
loser. You can't just
Loser.
bend rules, guy.
Mm.
I did. They've always been there. Yeah.
Right, or a kid that brings an iPad and he says it's to share with all of his friends, but then he doesn't let any of them touch it. He sets it down, and it's fingerprint unlock.
Yeah. Yeah. Fuck that kid. Anyway.
Fuck that kid. But Hal's cool.
Yeah. For now.
Same kid, but yeah, whatever.
Same kid. That was Hal as a child. He was that dickhead. Translated into adult life.
For sure.
I just picture Ollie, Barry, and Hal have a sleepover at Ollie's mansion, and Hal brings his only piece of technology is the iPad, and he says, "Yeah, you guys can use it too." but he's gonna be a dick about it. Like his fingerprint unlock, but then Ollie and Barry have their own.
There you go.
Yeah, because
You got to figure it out.
they're grown adults. They don't need this childish shit, but Hal needs to grow up.
You know what? I think he might.
He might. Anyway, top 2, I agree with Josh. Green Lantern number 4 at the top. Batman and Robin number 2 at number 2. Coincidentally. Favorite moments, I'll also pull from Green Lantern. Just Hal and Barry palling around and taking down Major Disaster. It was, as much as it detracted from the overall story and the plot, it was a fun moment. Just a brief interlude of the pair being the brave and the bold, taking out a quick villain, and going on their merry way. It was nice to see. Very classic feel. I did enjoy it. And that is our show.
That's it, man.
Yeah.
So
Quick and easy.
we're going to go ahead and get out of here, right? I mean,
Yeah.
you're
Might as
leaving,
well.
right?
Me? Yeah.
Yeah. All right, cool. Well, I'm going to leave too.
All right.
That means all of you got to get out of here, and you should be careful out there. Remember, in the Geek Matrix, everybody has a home. In the Geek Matrix, you are not alone.